In this lesson, we're going to cover striking tools. So what do I mean when I say a striking tool? What I'm referring to is the actual part of your hand or your body that you are making contact with, or the part of your hand, the part of your foot, the part of your elbow that you're actually striking with. So far what we've covered for attacking tools is we've covered when punching, the attacking tool is the first two knuckles of the fist. So this area right here and the area immediately below those first two knuckles, that is the striking tool when you punch. And it's very important when you punch that you keep the wrist straight. So you can't have your hand going like this. You can't have your hand going like this, bending down. As soon as you hit a target like this, you're going to break your wrist. Very simple. And when you punch, if you don't punch with the biggest two knuckles, these first two right here, if you punch with the weak side of your fist over here, what's going to happen is you're going to break your hand. So again, it's getting a proper punch is really, really critical, and using the correct striking tool is really, really critical, and developing this, toughening this up so that you don't injure yourself when you're trying to injure somebody else. And with a punch, there's a lot that can go wrong. If you look at boxers, for example, they always have their wrists taped so that their wrist is immobilized. They can't move their wrist in any direction. And so therefore, they can throw a lot of sloppy punches that you can't do if you're barehanded and your wrists are not taped. If you punch that way, you will break your wrist, and it'll happen very quickly. So proper punching technique is critical, and using the proper striking tool is critical. Otherwise, you will injure yourself instead of your opponent. Now, another striking tool we've covered so far is knife hand. So when you're striking with the knife hand, the striking tool is actually right back here on the palm. You're not using the fingers. You're just using the side area, just at the side of the palm, this bottom section here. That is the striking tool when you come in with a knife hand, both inward and outward. This is what you are striking with. So if you were to miss and strike with the wrist instead of here, again, there's a very good chance that you're going to injure yourself. There's a very good chance that you could break your wrist. If you strike here with the fingers instead of coming here and striking with the proper striking tool, there's a good chance that you can break your fingers. So it's a very small margin of error that you have to work with there, and you have to be accurate. Otherwise, things can go bad, and things can go bad in a hurry if you don't hit with the proper area, and if you don't toughen this area up. Another striking tool that we covered so far is fingertip. When you're doing fingertip middle or high straight thrust, curling the fingers in like this, tucking the thumb in, and striking with the fingertips. So the attacking tool here is the tips of your three longest fingers. That is the striking tool. And this too can be built up and toughened up, although admittedly it will never be as strong as the knuckles or the side palm for knife hand strike. This will always be a soft tool by comparison, but you should only be using it against soft targets anyway. But that is the striking tool. So if you don't hit with the correct area, if you leave your fingers bent backward like this when you strike, you can break your fingers, of course. If you have one finger sticking out way longer than another, then again, you're not going to have a proper striking tool. Or if your thumb is sticking up, it can get broken. So it's very important to use each striking tool correctly and try to toughen them up so that you develop them. So there are more striking tools that we'll cover as we go along, but those are the ones that you should understand for now. And of course, the area in front of the elbow on the forearm for an elbow front strike. This is a very strong area of the body to begin with, but we continue to develop it and toughen it up to make it even stronger. But those are the striking tools that we've covered with the arms, and then with the feet, we've covered attacking with the heel, we've covered attacking with the ball of the foot, and we've covered attacking with the top of the foot. Those are the striking tools that we've done so far. And those can be developed by kicking pads, the focus pads, kicking the heavy bag. You can build all of those up as well. So, till the next lesson.